Of all the things to surprise us with
I'm
Nintendo,
Shigeru.
why was...
Last month, we released the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was enjoyed by many people around the world.
Yeah, it's probably gonna make $1 billion as well.
Thank you
And
very
it
much.
probably still won't be enough.
The movie features a certain character who isn't part of the Super Mario series.
Apologies to anyone who has not caught the Galaxy movie, but it's been a month.
Trying to go to the most dangerous place in the galaxy? Who are you?
God bless Glenn Powell for this.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't.
So, yeah, in case you're wondering why we didn't get a commentary of this out sooner, yeah, no, I'm not kidding. Nintendo literally announced this right after we were done with the session, essentially. Like, and we're not the only one this got caught off guard by.
Let's go! Then one day, my warp drive exploded. Blew a giant hole in the fabric of space and time, and I got sucked
I really do hope we get cutscenes with that animation on something. They were so great.
Now I roam your galaxy, trying to find a way home.
Okay, from what I understand, isn't Slippy a decent engineer? He's just really clumsy.
The internet memed him to be an idiot because gameplay-wise he tends to, you know, be a bit more fragile of the team.
That's right.
And yes, the movie did legit have a line saying that, yes, they're boots, not cyber implants.
And yeah, Toad's a fanboy.
This game is called Star Fox.
Oh, what a surprise! It's another remake of Star Fox.
Nintendo, this
Star Fox 64.
it's like the Shin meme. Nintendo, this is the 5th time you told us the Lylat Wars story for Star Fox. Like,
I think Star Fox...
is that like the end game that we get another game where it's revealed that Andross had a time machine and reset time and time again to try to win against Team Star Fox?
All right, let's take a look.
This is the 5th time we're getting Star Fox again. I would not be surprised if eventually an iteration does do what you suggested with Andross and goes meta like that.
At the very least, it will give it a purpose, because holy shit, guys, there's only so many times you can retell the same kind of, you know, beats. Lylat system is in danger, Star Wars harasses Team Star Fox on the way, Andross goes boom by the end, Fox misses his father. There you go.
I think Star Fox is the only video game series that is more remake than original title.
Whoa!
And holy cow, Nintendo hired that man.
Yeah.
I get the aim was to make them look more like the SNES Star Wings
The
cover
puppets,
box art
yeah.
counterparts.
Yeah, but this is unfortunately Nintendo now starting to fall into the whole let's, you know, use the technology that we have to make things quote-unquote more realistic. Oh god, what they did to Falco.
Also, holy cow, Slippy actually sounds like a boy instead of a girl for once.
I don't know who the voice actors are for this game.
What you're seeing is
Like, the
That
rest of the
being said,
environment
this
and your
gameplay does look nice.
the rest of the environment and your vehicle are fine, it's just the character designs. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
not necessarily how the characters, you know, should look, because they've been the same since pretty much the Super Nintendo era, you know, or at least at the very most the Nintendo 64. But it's just
You know what this
these,
reminds?
these real, it's just the quality of these artists draw what Pokemon would look like if they were realistic. So,
You know what this
I mean, the
reminds me of?
environments look great.
You know what this reminds me of? The Sly Cooper movie trailer.
to an extent, I guess. Like,
Although,
that's a good
I
point.
will-
Why couldn't they use, you know, designs that were inspired by the Illumination Mario movie?
Falco Lombardi.
You know, that actually is a big surprise to me, honestly. In the sense that we did just get Fox in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, yet here he is with a completely different design.
Showing unidentified energy emanating from with Lippy Toad.
Also, seeing full-body renders of the characters and... Oh god, Awkward Zombie must be so proud that her comic got addressed because they have form-fitting boots now. Fox now has boots befitting of, you know, a fox's hind legs, and shoot, Falco now has the chicken feet showing. Which I guess does answer a lot of people's question as to how the animal feet worked in those shoes. I think the only one who doesn't have form-fitting boots now is Slippy.
The R-Wing is a
Yeah, here's the
high-performance
R-Wing.
aerospace fighter piloted by Fox and his crew.
Very nice.
It's equipped with a laser.
Where did you learn to fly?
It can also fire charged shots or launch bombs that cover a wide area.
And from what they mentioned earlier, it sounds like the banter's going to be back and better than ever, so, hey,
There
more
was
lore,
still
I'm
a
good
big
for that.
also in Star Fox Zero to an extent. Like, I don't think they did cut it that much in that.
Even
I wonder if they'll even address Zero, though.
How? How will they do that? Because again, this is yet another retelling. You know, yeah, here we go with the train boss who using the Landmaster, you know.
And, ooh!
Yeah, the part where you use the submarine to fight Bacon, you know.
Can also be piloted,
Like
depending on the
Squid.
mission.
No,
Blue
Bacon
Marine.
is the boss of the planet specifically. Like,
Okay.
again, it seems that they're going a bit, kind of bit for bit. I guess the only thing that it will add would be extra conversation with these cutscenes, which, sure, I guess, hopefully we will add something new, but at its core, this is still the same game for, at the very minimum, the 4th time in a row.
Ficina is a frozen planet with most of its surface.
I'm surprised that, at least here in Europe, they haven't gone the Resident Evil 7 route and have, like, the Lylat Wars be a subtitle under Star Fox.
I mean, considering again, Star Fox was the original Japanese title that America also kept, I'd rather have, you know, consistency take priority
Yeah,
on
but yeah,
that
the whole
front.
the whole renaming Star Fox games hasn't been a thing since Adventures.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us be fair. While technically a lot of these games are reimagining of the same plot, each one does add on some new gameplay, sometimes even new worlds and whatnot. So, to be fair, what we're getting here seems to be a fresh new experience, essentially. That being said, I would like to believe that this, assuming this one makes enough money, part of why they're doing this whole new art style is to establish not only that it's a new continuity, but I think what they're trying to do is take Star Fox more to a midpoint between cartoony and realistic. Obviously, not all the way to either extreme, but I wonder if they want to try and make it a bit less cartoony, you know, compared to, say, the likes of Mario, Kirby, and whatnot. Like, I guess put it more on par with, Zelda, depending on the iteration.
I argue Zelda, thanks to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, does manage to have a better balance with cell shade. Again, Falco is right there compared to instead the character of what is called like Rovali, the Bird Guardian, you know. That one actually looks better.
You know, the funniest thing I've seen is a lot of people deliberating, okay, now that Fox and Falco have proper animal feet, how's this going to affect the tier listings in Smash?
Also,
because you know it's going to affect the skeleton rigs, the models, and thus the hitboxes.
Please remind me again, since you have more direct access to it, is Star Fox 64/Lylat Wars available for the Nintendo Switch Online service?
Yes.
Okay, so technically speaking, it's not even a case where people did not have a field of reference, you know, to play this as a result. So, you know...
My guess...
Again, they technically had... This, I argue, doesn't really count as like a fresh start for people who don't know the franchise, because the option is right there.
I hate to say it, I'm wondering if, like, it feels like tradition to reboot Star Fox. Okay, so the main catalyst is obvious, though. Fox was included in the Mario Galaxy movie. To some people's amazement and others' bafflement. We'll discuss them when we get to commentating on that movie, but for all intents and purposes, like how Donkey Kong Bonanza came out not too long after Donkey Kong was in the first animated Mario movie, Star Fox shows up in Galaxy, boom, suddenly Star Fox game. Basically, some of that sweet, sweet brand synergy. My guess as to why they're rebooting it is, A, fresh new title, fresh new audience. They really want to get them to start without people complaining about needing to, like, buy Nintendo Switch Online to do one of the oldies, or, again, to be fair, they're probably also updating it in a sense that the ultimate new control scheme, which they tried doing with Zero, which
did not
work.
Or, more very blatantly, you know, it's the most known Star Fox story and the one that did work very well in 64, so it's an easy cash grab at best.
As AJ
Now,
Bartley said earlier, it's a lot quicker this time, though. Donkey Kong Bonanza came out 2 years after the first movie. This is coming out like 2 months after the Galaxy movie.
If I recall correctly, part of the
frame rate
dealio
on
was...
the bottom screen, so Jesus.
It's always been like that.
Oh, by the way,
And of
yes,
course, mouse
the
targeting.
Switch 2 Joy-Con has a new mouse mode, in case you need to know.
Which, hey, to be fair, given how great mouse controls are for aiming, assuming you have a good enough surface, I can see people definitely using
Actually,
the hell out
I'm
of
not
this.
sure about the first-person view, though, because that might be a bit clumsy.
Hey, it's got co-op, so
Yeah.
one can be the pilot, the other can be the gunner.
And as I mentioned before, it also has some level of multiplayer too.
Sure has trashed the place.
I'll target the lights on the left.
Hey, Cat.
God.
Okay,
Jesus.
I haven't played much of Lylat Wars / Star Fox 64. Is Kat a character in that game, or is this a new edition?
Mostly a cameo. She started in the Super Nintendo games.
We're approaching Venom airspace.
What did you
How
think?
sad is it that
As you
in
just saw,
like the
Fox
last,
and Company have a more
what,
animal-like design
10,
than this
15 years, possibly even more, the most progression that the Star Fox franchise plot ever had moving forward was for its exclusive content in Starlink.
AKA what people are calling the best Star Fox game not made by Nintendo. Oh my god, what the heck?
What's wrong with your face?
Like this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can put a filter over your face and make yourself essentially a VTuber.
Oh,
Insert
Jesus.
oh god, the furries are going to have a field day with this.
Nintendo, I'm sorry to say, this is not gonna encourage people to buy your spyware of a camera.
Oh, that's the good news. You don't need that, I think, for this feature.
I'm pretty sure it needs to detect your facial movement in some capacity.
I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 has a built-in camera for some of the handheld stuff.
So they have even, you know, less reason to spy on you. Good, I guess. Oh, goody. Yeah, you can use it for multiplayer purposes. I can only imagine the level of shitpost that is gonna happen with this.
And look, Tio! An apparatus for the Nintendo 64 controller!
Yeah, you can use the N64 controller with the game.
Away with this beast. Why would you repropose
For those who
it? Oh, silly me. I'm talking to the people that repropose the fucking Virtual Boy.
Lord God, can you... Oh yeah, that's right, they did bring back... Oh hey, Star Fox Adventures, you remembered that.
You know, you wanna maybe add some of these games to the Switch Online?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Where was Star Fox Assault?
Yeah, and guys,
Like, I understand maybe
we
Command...
forget about Zero?
Okay, also Star Fox Command on NES. It seems that after Adventures, nothing happened. I'm sorry, but something did happen. Why Star Fox Assault gets so much hate? Is it
I don't get it
is
either.
a contractual thing because it was co-developed with Namco?
I really
no,
do not get it, but...
Wasn't Command
That
the
be-
one where wasn't Command the one with that weird plot point where Crystal gets chucked out the team?
It's a
because,
possible option, yes, because it has so many branching paths.
Oh god, and then she joins up with Wolf. But that being said, they really just deadass ignored Zero. Oh.
And we get a preview of the prologue.
With General Pepper.
This is Corneria Defense Force Headquarters. Do you read?
Loud and clear. James McLeod here, General. Star Fox is on approach to...
You know, well, interestingly enough, this also reinforces a point for me for the Mario, Mario Galaxy movie. If they knew they had a game in the works for Star Fox to be released very soon, and instead of actually having the voice actor that they're gonna use for Fox in this game, they went for another celebrity.
Okay, from what we're learning about Mario Galaxy, Glenn Powell's apparently the reason Star Fox even got into that movie, and some people are positing that he may have been the one who also pushed for the new game, producer-wise, from Nintendo. Not sure about the game part, but he's apparently the leading reason that Star Fox got into the Galaxy movie, which may have been what, you, Nintendo, to figure, alright, let's make a game. My guess as to why Star Fox got a game sooner than Donkey Kong in regards to their movies was, I think the Mario movie was, definitely a success, but something they took a bit longer to respond to, whereas I think the plan from the get-go was, put Fox in the Galaxy movie, get people hyped for him, have a game ready.
Alright, this prologue served to to show something that was only told to you in the other game, so at the very least there's that. Fox's father, James, you can distinguish him because, he has sunglasses, along with his teammates. One of them is Pigma, who's gonna join Team Wolf because he's a fucking coward. Yeah.
Look, just to let you know, even Wolf doesn't like Pigma. Nobody likes Pigma.
Him. That's why he becomes, assimilated by the not legally distinct Borgs in Star Fox Assault.
Well, this game comes out in June, so
there he is.
We got a traitor.
I do wonder if this would be the game that finally shows us Andross turning from just simple monkey man into the giant head with Rayman hands that he becomes.
Hey, Peppy! Catch!
But yes, Fox's father sacrificed himself to keep Peppy from being blown out of the sky.
James, no!
Come in, Peppy. Do you read me?
Interestingly enough, James's fate has gone through quite a few changes through iterations.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's dead, sometimes he's a Force ghost, sometimes he might still be alive.
It's left ambiguous, which makes no sense. I always interpret what happens at the end of, 64X Lylat Wars, something kind of like what Terminal Montage imagined, the idea that it's just, the adrenaline that Fox is having to encourage him to how to get away.
So yes, we thank you for catching this direct. We apologize to any Star Fox fans who were asleep during the minutes that we gave a little pre-warning for this stream.
I mean, it's not too much of a worry considering, once again, the story has been told already at least 4 times. So...
That being said, okay, apparently this is going to be properly priced. It's apparently going for $49.99 digitally, $59.99 physically, and at certain stores you can apparently get it even lower, which has led to some people positing the idea that, while aside from the fact it's a remake, some people are wondering if maybe this means they have a bigger, bulkier, fresh, new Star Fox sequel to come up that might coincide or come right after this, essentially.
I don't know. I can imagine the idea that they're gonna continue using this engine if this is successful, but nothing that's gonna wait at least 1.5 years.
Round here in the UK, depending on where you go, the price difference between download and physical isn't that much. On the My Nintendo store, they're doing it download for $41.99 and physical for $49.99. But there are shops you can go to, such as Smythe's, where you can get the physical copy for only $42.99.
Which, if you know Nintendo, this is surprisingly generous, essentially.
Or potentially worrying they don't have a lot of confidence in the product and they're just, leaving it out as soon as they can.
Okay, if I recall correctly, I think Nintendo have usually followed the protocol with remakes to, price those a bit down, essentially. Also, maybe the Mario Tennis game sold so poorly that they realized they can't make everything $80 now, can they?
Actually, I couldn't, speaking of which, I couldn't really catch it during the actual direct. Do we know who is actually developing this thing? Like, if it's an internal thing at Nintendo, they're having another studio doing it?
I don't think they mentioned a specific studio for it, though.
Okay.
We do know that it's being done internally, though. But yeah, that is weird, though, that we did get a direct that didn't tell us who's directly making the game. Again, unless we're supposed to infer that it's a Koizumi title, since Koizumi was giving a lot of the intel about it. That said, okay, the designs are going to take some getting used to, but I'm relatively pumped for this. I'll admit, I kinda never got around to playing Zero, and this does look like the most beefed up potentially interesting, narratively speaking version of the story, which, hey, you gotta beef it up in that regards to justify making it. So, who knows? I think this might be it. That being said, how funny is it going to be if the sequel is, well, a remake of Star Fox 2?
I mean, to be fair, that hasn't really been technically redone yet. Even if its plot is not super much more different, it's all another defend the castle type of deal. So.
Oh yeah, apparently there's of course going to be merch, plushies, and all that.
No
I'll admit
amiibo. Interestingly.
I wonder if maybe they'll announce those later, because that would be weird to not have amiibos for this. I do like the new VTuber function for filter calls. I wonder if maybe eventually they'll adapt it to other Nintendo characters that you can show up as for
probably.
Streaming and whatnot. So.
I seriously hope Nintendo is not expecting this to be actually done in a very wholesome way, because people are definitely not gonna use it for that.
What? Tio, it's the internet. I'm sure everyone's going to be wholesome with furry characters, and I'm sure that by the time they make Crystal available, that everyone will be on their best behavior.
You're thinking on that front. I'm thinking something that happened kind of like when Fortnite tried to add the AI voice chatbot for Darth Vader. It took only a few hours before he started using slurs. Fun times are ahead, but your minds may vary on what you consider fun. Anyway, for this direct, I already said pretty much what I had to. I can imagine this is not gonna be terrible outside of me not agreeing with this level of high fidelity for the designs. Again, you had something like from the Illumination movie, or advanced what Platinum Games did for Zero was a good compromise, admittedly, but it's once again another retelling of a Lylat Wars. People are I argue that a lot more people, more and more, are getting sick and tired of hearing the same song and dance. Yes, it's cool that you're adding flavor onto it to expand upon some things like character introspection and interactions and stuff that we already were told in the past. But I have the sense that it's not gonna be that much at the end of the day. So at the best, this is gonna be just a fun gameplay experience, which ultimately would be pointless for those who seek, this franchise for its aesthetic and story.
It's like I said, can any other game series boast that it's more remake than sequels? In the sense that 5 remakes, 4 sequels.
And again, considering Nintendo Shadow dropped this direct with no pre-warning for a game that's to be released
next month.
Yeah, I get the idea. They might not have that much faith in the project outside of expecting it to sell decently enough for them, because this is really unusual even for them. They usually will have at least one announcement before mentioning they're gonna have a direct to it to properly launch the marketing. But this rapid fire stuff, it's usually reserved when companies are afraid that their product is not gonna be gangbuster. Usually.
I will say, counterpoint, Nintendo does tend to be the exception to the norm. Not saying that they're immune to all corporate practices, but they tend to be the ones that are a little bit different. My take is that they want to have this close enough to the movie to really run off with a pump and hype and whatnot, which, again, Star Fox's involvement in the movie feels a bit herky-jerk, which does lead me to believe that was meant to be like a blazing neon advertisement of really getting people interested in Star Fox. So my take is they have a semi-positive bout of faith in this game, essentially, especially since they gave it a whole brand new art style and everything, which I would say seems to suggest that they've got plans for this to be a whole new continuity down the road, essentially, as opposed to other stuff which is slightly touched up on their art styles. Like, Star Fox is no stranger to art style changes, which I think is partly why they were okay with doing this, but this one feels definitely the most drastic. Like, I'll say this, a new art style like this suggests we're going to get these new looks for the next Smash game, which I think implies that, again, they might have something in this for the long haul. What do you think, Dwibs?
I mean, if they had Like, if they didn't have any faith in this, they probably would have just shadow dropped the game, not the announcement of the game. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Me personally, I've not got much experience with Star Fox aside from the ones that are readily available to me through the Switch Online, namely Star Wing / Fox and Lylat Wars / Star Fox 64. But I do like games like this, flying around and shooting stuff. So I will say I am somewhat optimistic about this one. Although I'm just surprised that there weren't any announcements for the other games to come on Nintendo Switch Online. Either Adventures or Assault. And well, then again, probably not Command, because they haven't made a. I don't think Nintendo have made a DS emulator yet, even though Capcom have.
And Konami.
And Konami.
Oh,
But at the very least,
matter
Capcom
of
and Konami
time.
got someone else to do it. I don't know how it works.
I bet Nintendo are definitely holding their finger on the button for that DS library.
Also, just to mention, to add even more confusion to the whole thing, we're not even giving to the game another subtitle like, Zero got. It's still just called Star Fox, like the original.
I guess the idea is that this will be Star Fox 26.
Well, around here that won't be an issue since the original game was called Star Wing.
I guess, but you have to remember that it was a change just for us. It's weird to begin with as a thing.
I do think this lends credence to the idea that this is them buckling down for this being a new continuity. It's like, it's Star Fox. You can start right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
That's what was for.
Well, it was a zero, and now
the confusion.
Well, don't you see, Tio? You can
some jackass in a suit at Nintendo. It was like, don't worry, guys, just call it Star Fox. It worked for Sony when they renamed, when they named their fourth God of War game mainline just God of War. It's gonna work out, I swear.
I am legit surprised that did actually work, given how much naming stuff can wreck stuff, as Nintendo found out with the Wii U.
It's amazing how many more years pass, the more, James Rolfe naming convention videos ring more true than ever.
But don't you see, Tio? Now you can go from zero to hero with this new title. I'm optimistic about Star Fox's future, and hey, if this formula works, then I don't care how wonky it is, put Captain Falcon in the third Mario movie, and get an F-Zero movie cooking.
Well,
all right,
probably,
then.
Yeah. Well, Glenn Powell will probably do everything in his power to make it happen.
Like, I'll say this, if this does turn out to be a success, thank you, Glenn Powell, because he is apparently legit the main reason Star Fox made it into the movie, which is allegedly the reason we're getting this new game. In that case, then, audience, we will see you for whatever comes next, and maybe we'll even see you next for a Star Fox commentary.
Yeah.
Ta-ra.